Commence primary ignition.
Hi, I'm Juan Davis, ILM model maker, and you're watching the Virtual Cantina.
Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Clone Wars Revisited, live on the Virtual Cantina Network. I'm Mark Von Olin, and I am joined tonight by my very special co-host, Colin Fischer. Welcome back to the show, Colin.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me. It's good to be back. It's been months, almost a year since I've done your show.
No, is it a year already?
I think the last time that I was on was in October. Yeah, so we're coming up on a year.
Oh man, that's crazy. One, we've got to get you on more frequently. Two, it's funny how often we have seen each other recently because of San Diego Comic-Con and Rebel Scum Con. You were there. So, yeah, it's been great. So virtually it's been a year, but we have seen each other in real life. Actually, we met for the first time in real life in San Diego.
Yeah, which actually was weird because I was there for Comic-Con, but I didn't go to Comic-Con, right? Because I actually had to go out there to fly an airplane. And so, yeah, I mean, that just worked out because, one, I couldn't find a hotel room. So thanks for putting me up for the night. Appreciate it. And again, I was kind of bad company that weekend because I was in my work box. But then, yeah, 2 weeks later, we went to Rebel Scum and hung out for 4 or 5 days, something like that.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Oh, here comes Skip. Did we get you? Wait,
I
hear you. I do not see you. Hold on.
You know, this is what happens when you get internet
famous.
You show up whenever you want, and then none of your stuff works, and we have to accommodate you.
Yeah.
Why am I having a hard time hearing you guys?
Do you hear us, Skip? Skip is with us, by the way. He is here. And for some reason, we cannot see him. I don't know what is happening, but I'm gonna fix this. So Is there yet another picture? I wonder if this is the one. Oh, there's all these extra pictures hidden behind here. This is a mess. There's something up with our studio layout. I'm gonna get it fixed. But Colin, continue to tell everyone about San Diego Comic-Con and Texas, because it was really a blast. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there. Like I said, I wasn't there for San Diego for Comic-Con. I mean, there were so many people. I'll be honest with you, just driving and being in San Diego for Comic-Con has cured me of any desire to go to Comic-Con. There's just too many people. I mean, I like people. These are my people, but it's just too many of them. But Rebel Scum was awesome because I hadn't gone to anything really prior to that. And so, yeah, one, it was great to meet you, Mark, out in San Diego, but then great to hang out with you in Texas. But then great to meet the VCN team out at Rebel ScumCon, which is, you know, Skip and I have been on the show, twice now together. That was nice to talk to him and meet him and really everybody else. I'm not going to name names because I'm going to leave people out. So you know who you are. It was great. It was really wonderful to meet you all. And, you know, I'm almost disappointed that was my first convention because I feel like it was so very well done and everything about it was great. And it's just going to set the bar so high. I almost don't want to go anywhere else, if that makes sense.
I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
I think I may have gotten Skip into our layout. Oh, there we go. I just slide over a little. Yeah, squish in. Rebel ScumCon was truly something special.
Yeah.
Skip and I talked a lot about it last week, and the week before, because now we're a few weeks removed, and it was lovely seeing everyone. In fact, Liberty is saying how great it was to see everyone, and Mumbo Jimbo, yes, hello, Rebel Scum friends.
Jim, what's up,
Thank
man?
you, thank you, to everyone who came to say hello at Rebel Scum Con and at Boonta Eve. People who we've met before, new friends. How did you know Jim? How did you meet Jim?
I met everybody that I was hanging out with that weekend. What's up, Jim? Nice to see you virtually. So the way I met Jim and Sue and pretty much everybody that I hung out with was after. So I went to dinner with you guys, right? Because I didn't know anybody else. So I went to dinner with you guys, and then I came back and I went to the hotel bar. And unbeknownst to me, Jim was sitting there, and I sat down in a chair because it was empty, because that's what you do at a bar. And Jim looks at me and says, "Do you know who was just there?" And I said, "No," because it was an empty seat. And I didn't see anybody there. And it was apparently Wedge Antilles had just gotten up seat with bar bill there. So that was a great introduction to Jim to start talking. It was, that is who it is. It turns out it was like an hour away from me in Virginia. So we have to get together at some point. He had awesome shirts over the weekend too. I don't know if you saw him walking around. He had a Bo-Katan, and then he had a Darth Maul shirt on the last day, and both of them are awesome. And then
very cool.
Sorry, remind me, who was the first person that came up and said, "Hey, it was great meeting you"?
Which one? I'm trying to remember now.
Put up. Anyway, I'm sure I met you, and I'm sorry I didn't catch your name, but it was. I'm sure it was wonderful.
It was it was one of those weekends where I kept running into people, and Skip can attest to this. Skip, we've been on numerous trips together, right?
Oh, yeah.
With the VCN Family Vacation, being at various conventions, Rhode Island Comic Con, New York Comic Con, Rhode Island Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, you name it. We're seeing some of the recurring people from the VCN at these shows and everything. And it's an amazing way to meet people. And even I was meeting people for the first time who maybe I'd seen them digitally, like on YouTube or Instagram, wherever else. I know, Colin, that's how you met a bunch of people. And then other VCNers from the crew, and then just brand new people. Same thing at the bar, Colin. Like, I was there, and Sue was there. So Sue was the glue. Sue the glue knows everyone. And it was really fun just chatting away and talking to people. It was a blast.
I've been adopted by Sue, so
yes.
Yeah.
We're all part of the Sue's family.
It's wonderful. She kept giving me stuff, and at some point I was like, "Stop! I have too much." But it's wonderful, and we've talked a little bit since then. Actually, she asked me where we got our lightsabers, and I owe her an answer on that because I was away and I couldn't look it up. So I need to get back with her. Sue, if you're on, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Just remind me.
Yeah, I don't see her in the chat, but she might be watching. We do have quite a few people watching on Facebook and on YouTube. And Liberty is saying that she saw more VCN family at Rebel Scum Con than anywhere else. We were everywhere. Yeah, we have family everywhere. That's become sort of our tagline. Kind of like I have friends everywhere was the code word in Andor. We have family everywhere. Also, I see, speaking of family, Jason Barnes is in the chat. He is going to be taking on an expanded role in the network to be announced very soon. He's co-hosted on Clone Wars for the past few weeks, actually. Good to see you, JB. Say hi to Sarah for me. And then, as Liberty is saying, always in the halls or the bar or just at the tables, but often at the bar. That was definitely a popular location. And yeah, Spencer's right. The VCN family is the best. Spencer, I just saw you on a different show. Are you taking a break? Yeah. And this was Dave's first time meeting Colin in person. It's kind of funny, like how all of us have been friends digitally for so long. I mean, Skip, when's the first time we met? It wasn't the family vacation, but was it?
No. It was Rhode Island Comic Con.
2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, because I had known you through the VCN for what seemed like 5 years. And then we finally met in person. And then we roped you into doing this. So that's what happened. Yeah. I was like, you know what you'd be great at.
Mark's like, hey, if anybody wants to guest host, and I was like, oh, guest host.
I'll do that. That sounds fun.
But then he pulls me in on a kind of watch along show where we didn't watch along. Mm-hmm. It was the Best of the Grand Inquisitor, And I was like,
right.
oh shit! I'm googling up Grand Inquisitor, making sure I got his race, species correct, and then trying to get some things so I could talk about it. And I had my little post-it notes written all down in here so I could look down them and go, yeah. And I could
That
sound
Google Doc
intelligent.
from Rebels Revisited, I do need to publish it eventually. We did so much research for the show, and then for Clone Wars, I show up and I'm like, "What are we watching?" I couldn't tell you because we're going in cold, which is always exciting. I do want to put up Sherry's comment. Yay for Jay. More to come, Sherry. I know. So Sherry has a very big expanded role in the group as of this year. She became a moderator on the Facebook page around the time we were getting ready for Celebration. So Sherry has joined the fray as one of our many contributors. And yes, Spencer is asking if he's ever on a break, and sadly the answer is no. But Spencer had a big announcement. I want to put this up real quick because Spencer was just on a show called Mocktails from the Cantina with Stephen Mocked. Great name, by the way. Like, that's perfect. And like Mocktails from the Cantina, that's just like awesome. He announced a very special event, and you know how I've been teasing this, that more events and more things like this are coming from the network. Well, this is the big announcement. We are partnering with VIP Home Theaters. You may have seen us promoting them in the lead up to Rebel Scum Con. They were our premier sponsor for Boon to Eve. They're fantastic. They do excellent technology in speakers, televisions, furniture, everything to make your home theater amazing, right? They have a showroom out in Chicago, and we are doing an event at their facility Wednesday, October 15th. It's very exciting. You're going to meet Diana Lee and Asanto, the star of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Obviously, she is Morgan Elsbeth, Night Sister extraordinaire. This is a very limited number of tickets available, very small, intimate event. It'll be $100. You'll get an autograph, a selfie, some swag, and there'll be some light refreshments. So really excited to be partnering with VIP for this event. They have been like such fantastic partners. So I think this is going to be a blast. So if you happen to be in Chicago in October, it is a Wednesday. Come on out and meet Diana. And that's what Spencer was doing on the Mocktail show. So Stephen Mocked is going to host that event. He's doing a podcast at the event as well, and he's going to be one of the co-hosts. So very cool.
Nice. That'll be fun.
So Colin, you are in a hotel room.
Yes.
So explain to everyone why you're on this particular episode and what you're doing in this hotel room.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite episodes. And when I did the Ryloth arc last time, and I couldn't finish it out because I think I was doing the same thing I'm doing now. So for those that may remember, I work as a pilot. I am a pilot, and I unfortunately have an early call tomorrow. So and the airport is 2 hours away from my house. So I'm here. I'm in a hotel room, and of course, I get a call out the week that I said that I would come back for this show. So I have to have a makeshift studio. I'm sitting. The lighting's not great. It's actually probably better than I would get at home, to be frank. But also, I wouldn't have dogs and other interruptions. But yeah, I get to be on the road again. I've been on the road a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to not being on the road, which hopefully will happen soon.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling.
Tomorrow.
Where? What? So I'm flying my standard Learjet tomorrow. I'm doing something with the Navy. I actually don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm just going to show up at 6. I'm going to get the card and I'm going to go. Yeah, standard job for me. Go fly the Learjet, do the thing, come back. I'm actually doing 2 flights tomorrow, so it'll be do the thing, come back, land, turn around, go back out, do it again, and then drive 2 hours home. So it's gonna be a long day, but that's why I am broadcasting from the Courtyard Marriott in Newport News as opposed to my home studio, which is really just my kitchen table.
But you are working on a home studio, you were telling me.
Yeah, so we agreed when we bought our house in 2017 that we would put a shed out there, and the shed is finally built this year. We've got the wiring for the electronics done, but now the power company has to come out and do their inspection before they can wire it all up because we've got to put it onto the grid. So it is coming, but it is painfully slow. I mean, the structure's been there since April, and it's August now without power. So it is on its way. I cannot wait to have it. I was hoping to have it by now, but when I get it, hopefully I can do more of these kinds of things with you guys.
And that shed that you guys are building also includes like 3D printing and other
Yeah,
because
because
your husband's into that too.
Yeah, because we have 150 3D printers, and I'm exaggerating the number, but it's a lot of 3D printers, which is it's good. It keeps him busy.
Hmm.
But I get all of the upstairs, which is really nice. So I can do whatever I
Okay.
want with the upstairs. And he keeps telling me that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with it, or he's going to start moving in. And I said, no, it's mine. I'm going to do whatever
Oh
I
no,
want.
it's a turf
So,
war over here.
yeah, it's a turf war.
This is
I think I've won that one though, because
this is me and my husband, the fight for space on like action figures versus Lego versus vinyl versus these collectibles. Yeah, it's a trench warfare over here.
yeah, it's not quite that bad. In all honesty, I think that I've managed to say, hey, look, I'm just going to keep it modular, and I'm going to set up what I want to set up, and then take it down when I'm ready to take it down, and just have the space to be able to flex to whatever I am currently interested in. So, yeah, but it'll be nice because then I'll have the ability to set something up and be able to actually look decent and have decent sound and do all of the things that I would like to do, so I can do more of these kinds of things.
Yeah. Well, as you're outfitting your shed, Spencer had a good idea. You should talk to VIP theaters.
I should talk to VIP theaters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a code. So we'll have to. They're amazing, by the way. The owners, really lovely people. We've been chatting with them quite a bit as we've been getting ready for this event. So I'll be going out there for the Diana event. So I'm very, very excited. There's a bunch of us from the VCN going. In fact, we had some local Chicagoans visiting the site, so checking things out and everything. So and aside from checking out VIP theaters, Liberty is inviting you over to Rhode Island Comic Con,
Yeah.
which I'm telling you, it's going to be a really good one this year.
Yeah, I need to hook up with some friends up that way anyway, so it's on my list of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Need to come to Rhode Island. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone should
I'll
be
see if
coming to Rhode Island. We are starting a road. Actually, there are two things happening on the Rhode Island front. And actually, Liberty, just to answer your question real quick, we're doing Cat and Mouse. So it's season 2, episode 16. But yeah, count or 15, yeah. 16. Yeah, it's Cat and Mouse.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting. Yes, 16 Cat and Mouse. And yeah, we have a group chat on Rhode Island, and actually, Colin, I can add you to that if you're not already in there, because people are talking about going to Rhode Island Comic Con. It's become a spawn of our vacation chat. So if you're interested in Facebook messages that come in all times of the day, because apparently people don't work, you'll be you'll be able to enjoy yourself. And then yeah, we are gonna dial up our activation at Rhode. I don't want to overpromise, but we always do a big meetup. We have a big meetup at the Dave & Buster's. You never know who's going to pop in. There's always something fun. But we are going to coordinate photo ops, autographs, and like generally just coordinating with each other a little bit better. Because usually when we go as a group, we just sort of happenstance like, hey, I bought an autograph. Everyone come in line with me and we're going to meet so-and-so. And then, we're buying a professional photo op. How many people can we legally fit into this photo? Get in. It's like a lot of that kind of stuff, but we're going to coordinate this time and really make a plan of attack, especially around the Star Wars people, and maybe even do some special swag or merch or something. So, because there's news coming on the merch front and news coming on the swag front and all that stuff because of now that we made it out of Texas, a lot of new stuff coming on the network. So I think Rhode Island Comic Con will be a microcosm of some of that.
Nice.
Yeah. And Dave O'Neill is talking about Freddie Prinze Jr. will be there. So if you were to dress like Ezra, it might be a good costume to wear while meeting Freddie Prinze Jr.
Well, meeting Freddie Prinze Jr., yeah.
Yeah. So, Colin, when we were talking about your Ezra cosplay, which, by the way, thank you for letting me borrow your shirt for my panel. That was amazing. It worked out perfectly for me since I totally botched my Ezra cosplay. I talked about it for weeks and then didn't bring the shirt or the Loth Cat, which, by the way, is sitting right here. By the way, my Loth Cat is like right here. There's my Loth Cat. I think it was there during Texas because I was stupid and didn't bring it and didn't bring my shirt. So Colin saved the day by lending me his shirt, but he had a full-on Ezra cosplay that was amazing. Tell us a little bit about your cosplay and why you picked Ezra as a character to cosplay. And first give me the answer you told me, and then give me the longer story.
Yeah, look, I don't know why I chose Ezra. I just think he looks cool. Anybody, like on other podcasts, I said it before, like my favorite character in Star Wars. Period. Dot. End of story is Han Solo, but he just basically wears street clothes, and Ezra doesn't. He's a little bit more, I think, swarzy than Han is. But look, Ezra is a challenge, man. There's a lot of really good Ezras out there, but none of them. I'm not going to say none of them. Like one or two of them, I think were kind of, in my opinion, and only my opinion, right. If you look at a lot of them, they've got fabric for the what I use as armor, and so I decided, I'm not doing that. I'm going to just make the armor. So yeah, the shirt that you had was custom made, and the guy who made it retired after making it. So that's.
Oh, I'm pissed about that, by the way.
Yeah.
I was gonna steal that shirt. You don't even know. I was ready to throw hands.
So
yeah.
I got a lot of that. They were like, "Where'd you get the shirt?" And I said, "Well, I had it custom made because you can get Ezra shirts like that online, but they come from the sweatshops in China, and they're not very good. That's the one that you have, right? It's fine. But look, unfortunately, I pay attention to details, and if it's not quite right, it's going to bug me. So, one of the things that I really wanted was, if you look at, and I spent way too much time looking at this character. If you look at his jacket, it stops right above his pants and belt, right?
Mm-hmm. It's very short. It's like a crop top jacket.
It is a very, very, very short jacket. I actually kind of like it, but you have to wear pants that go up really high if you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Weird proportions for sure.
Yeah, definitely weird proportions. So, I mean, look, it worked out, and it worked out really well. The one thing I didn't like though was the neck. I have to figure out something new with the neck, but I think it worked out. The other thing though was this was the first time I had dyed my hair for it, and that was it like kind of worked because I see pictures.
Pretty good.
I mean, yeah, it worked fine. My hair. I mean, my sides have gray, and they've had gray since college. But Ezra's not gray haired. He's got black hair. So I tried to make it work. I've seen the pictures of me in it. I'm like, oh my god, my hair is ridiculous for that. So I got to figure out a new solution for that. But it was also like I also had the scratches actually on the side for the first time as well, and that was a good experience. And then of course the reason I went was you told me I had to go and wear it and meet Taylor Gray, which I did, and just wonderful experience. Cool. It was really cool, like really great guy. 10 out of 10, 13 out of 10 interaction with them. Zero.
Yeah, he signed your lightsaber.
He signed my lightsaber, which means I don't know if I can use that now anymore. I think that has to go somewhere.
Display piece. Now you're just gonna have to buy a new one to carry around with you.
I know.
Yeah.
Now I actually have to. Maybe I should get one that actually has a blade in it this time. Spend the extra $150. But yeah, 13 out of 10 interaction, just really great. Yeah, thanks for being cool, Taylor. Hopefully we meet again. Sorry for being awkward. It was weird. I've spent a lot of time in rooms with very powerful people and have not cared, and then all of a sudden I find myself tongue-tied. So that was a new experience, but I kind of felt bad for all of them being out there in the heat. But speaking of that, Bunta, wonderfully executed, like wonderfully done. You guys owned the internet the day before, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, really good time. I was so hot though. I mean, I had to take that costume off.
You had a lot of clothing on. Yeah, I was in shorts and a t-shirt like a professional. But yeah, you looked amazing. I'm so glad that your interaction with Taylor went well. I'm gonna put up the comment that Dave wrote about let me scroll up.
I remember having breakfast with Colin the day after Bunta, and he goes, I kept flipping my screen, and it was another story about Bunta, another story about Bunta. Like it was almost being run on repeat.
Oh yeah.
And it was sort of annoying because it's like, no, guys, I was there for that. Like I don't need to watch
it. It was definitely wild. And I want to put up this too from Sarah because I want to put it into the universe as well. Freddy will happen. Colin will be there dressed as Ezra, and Freddy will happen. It'll all be good.
Did you guys see that other guy dressed as Kanan walking around on day 3?
Yeah, he was really good. I've seen several good Kanans, whether it be at Celebration or wherever else. His was particularly good.
His was particularly. We talked for brief. I mean, we had met before, but we talked briefly. Afterwards, I'm like, dude, I wish I'd known. I would have put on Ezra for you today. He's like, yeah, next time, right?
Yeah.
Next time.
Did you get his info? Like, you got exchanged?
Oh yeah,
info?
no. So I follow him on Instagram now.
Okay.
He may or may not follow me. I don't know, but yeah, just a fantastic 13 out of 10 Kanan. I feel like that would be fun. Met Chopper. That was also cool.
Yeah, we have a good photo of Chopper.
Yeah.
There was a very good Chopper rolling around. All the droid builders were great.
That little boy that was dressed up as Rex and some of the other clone troopers.
Cad Bane.
He was freaking adorable.
Yeah. All the kids.
I think his parents had him dressed up as something different every day.
Yeah. The kids were into it this year. I was surprised how many kids there were, considering like small scale convention. But yeah, it was very family friendly, the whole event. I thought they did such a good job with Rebel Scum Con. I'm so excited about next year already. Like, we're already talking about like next year. I was like, we just survived this year, but yeah.
No, you gotta do it. You gotta do it next year. And look, now I have to go back because I have to see everybody that I met.
Well, that's how they get you. Yeah,
that's how they get you.
We got to go back. Yeah.
You know, the interesting thing about that show, and it was just a real small, minor piece, but for once you stop and think about it, you're like, I'm really glad that was the way. They were in a room with carpet everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a convention center. It's concrete floors. The noise is echoing all over the place. You're in there, and they had carpet floors and lots of sound deadening stuff going on, and it just was comfortable to be in that place.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, it's 98 degrees in Frisco, and it was nice and 72 in that convention center. Like, the air conditioning could keep up with the amount of people that were there. It was a comfortable place to be.
Connected to the hotel, easily located. Yeah, it was fantastic. I want to put up this other comment from Dave saying you had a great Han Solo cosplay. Also, I actually think Skip, you should be a Han Solo too. You'd be an amazing Han. We got to get you in some cosplay. I know you have the gun.
Where's somebody's cleaned up in my office? And it's always like right here where I can grab it. And the one time
I know you always have your blaster. Now, Colin, you didn't bring your gun though because it looks too much like a gun.
Oh yeah, so, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah,
could you imagine me carrying that on into the TSA? Would have had a fucking cow.
Oh yeah, of course.
Of course, that is actually a broom handle Moser. Come on, Dave. It's actually, in fact, I carried that movie prop into a gun range one time to show. We were doing target practice, and one of the guys was asking me. I said, "Oh, I'll bring it by next time." And the guy that owns the range goes, "Tell me you didn't come in here to do target practice with a broom handle. Was it Moser? What is it? Come on, Mauser. Thank you, Dave. I knew eventually Dave would type it up for me. And I was like, no, it's a movie prop, and I said, watch. But it does. You can pull the hammer back and pull the trigger, and it click. So yes. That would be the bummer, is to go to a convention as a Han Solo cosplay and have this really cool look-alike blaster and not be able to pull it out because it looks too much like a real thing.
You'd have to drive with something like that.
Yeah, and but I also just had that experience, right? And so it's actually not that bad. Did it suck not having the blaster? Yeah, I still think I made the right decision to not have it. TSA. Personally, it's 3D printed. It looks pretty good, but it's correctly proportioned, but I'm also afraid that it's going to break. And so I don't think it's going to travel particularly well on an airplane. But then also, you run into problems with things like that. And I just wanted to avoid all those problems. So again, I think I made the right call by not bringing it. Did it suck because I couldn't get some action shots? Yeah, but I mean, what did I really miss out on? Just a couple of photos, and that's about it. So every interaction was really great. So,
and there were numerous Leias there. I know you got pictures with several other Han and Leia cosplayers as well, and maybe a Kylo Ren or two.
I don't think I got a Kylo. I did have an interaction where there was old Han with the lightsaber through his chest, and he walked by and he just said, "Don't have kids." Yeah,
don't have kids. That's amazing.
Don't have kids. And that was fun. I got a picture with him later. I still haven't seen that picture, but I'm sure it's great. It was, yeah. I remember we riffed real quick, and he just kind of did the point to his chest, and I acted incredibly horrified as if I was meeting my future self.
That's fun. Yeah, world between worlds situation.
Yeah, yeah. Well, bringing it back to Rebels, right? Hope your religions and ancient weapons.
Oh boy.
And look, I also got to shout out, if you don't follow them, follow the Balance of the Forces people, because firstly, their skits are amazing. But secondly, like, they saw my Ezra on day one, and I didn't even realize who they were. I followed them for years, and we just had a really nice conversation. And then, it's the kind of interaction, like, I've seen these people on YouTube. It's they do great stuff. I had a really nice talk with them. I walked away from that being like, oh, that was really nice. I'm glad I had that interaction. But then every day they wanted to talk more, and it was really, really nice. So go follow them. They have a huge following already. They don't need me shit promoting. They're just the nicest people. Everybody was just so nice. So
it was such a positive experience across the board with everyone we interacted with. From the actors who were really willing to take time out of their schedule to talk to us, to other content creators who just in passing, we were all exchanging information and following each other on Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff, and just random fans and cosplayers and everyone wanting to take pictures. It was really lovely. I'm looking at the time. I want to say hi to Bruce. Hey Bruce, thanks for joining. And I just want to scroll through the rest of the comments. Yes, Kate and Jeff, they were amazing as Han and Leia.
Always have been.
Yeah, they always do such a good job. She was Hut Slayer Leia too.
I got a picture. Cool. I know I got a picture with them.
Yeah,
I saw them in London. Saw them in Japan. Saw them obviously in Frisco. I'm trying to think. There was another one that I'd run into them with. Might have been Anaheim. Might have been like a more localized one. Like I think I saw them at Fan Expo in either Dallas or Chicago last year. But they are always traveling.
Yeah, and they are pros at what they do. They're amazing. And then Spencer, you're one of us now, Colin. One of us. Yeah. And
we don't believe in FOMO. No FOMO around here.
With the Brookers. Is that them, the Brookers? Kate and Jeff? Are they the Brookers?
I can't tell you. I would imagine so, but
I think so. Yeah, I forget their last names. This is what happens, right? Like, I know people from passing, and I know them as the Han and Leia cosplayers, right? And I know Kate and Jeff, but I don't remember their last name. I'd have to look it up. But okay, one other thing I wanted to point out Spencer saying yes, those are the Brookers. One other thing that went live today, and then we're going to get into our episode, also speaking about Rebel Scum Con, my first interview is up on YouTube. So there's the shirt we were talking about. So this is going to be the picture that I use. I don't know how this became the picture, but I think it's literally the only like still frame of me holding the microphone for any of the interviews. And here I am with Simon Cassianitis, who of course plays Axe Woves in The Mandalorian. This is our first interview. It's about 6 or 7 minutes, I believe, and it's up on our YouTube channel now. We'll be putting all of the videos that we did from Rebel Scum and from Boon to Eve on the page over the next several weeks. We have so many, you guys. We met like 20-something people. We also recorded some other short form stuff. Like, I have bumpers from new people that are going to be added to the network and everything. But everyone was so generous with their time. And Simon was lovely. He talks about like how they were going to kill him initially in Mando season 1, but they liked him so much they kept him on. And I asked him questions about what he thinks the lore of his character is, like what's his connection to the Night Owls, because he also wears that same blue color. So he has some ideas there. He was really sweet. So it was great talking to him. And then we'll have more interviews coming up over the next. I think the next one goes live on Friday, and then it'll just continue 2 a week until we run out. So it'll probably take us through the end of the year, I think, at this point, which is crazy.
And let's not start the episode. I know we got to get going, but let's also shout out you, Mark, because you ran a really fantastic panel.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's the only panel that I went to, and it's not just because
obviously the best then.
It was clearly the best one. It was also the worst one that I saw.
Yeah.
But no, shout out, congratulations, really great job on your panel, which was the animation panel. It had Taylor Gray and the other two forgive me, I don't remember their names, but it was the lady who plays Duchess Satine and
Anna Graves.
Anna Graves.
And the guy who played Kazuda Siono in Resistance.
Yep, Christopher Sean.
Christopher Sean. Also, Christopher Sean stole the show. Really funny guy.
So funny. He's. I told him, I was like, you're funnier than you are hot, and everyone knows how hot you are. So everyone needs to find out how funny you are. Like, he's that good. So it's the kind of thing where it's like the secret skill that he has.
He's also an extremely nice guy.
Yes, he's so charismatic. I remember telling the story about how when we were at Star Wars Celebration 2019 in the green room, he was one of the newest people, right? Resistance had just started airing. We invited like 4 or 5 people from Resistance because we obviously needed signers for the kids, and we wanted to bring in new people. When I tell you, he went up to every table and was like, "Hi, I'm Chris. I play Kazuda in Resistance. Lovely to meet you." He introduced himself to everyone, staff, random people, other actors in Star Wars. Like, he was working the room, and I don't mean like climbing. I mean like legitimately wanting to get to know people. Like, he was so lovely. It was just a treat to have him. And so since then, I've sort of stayed in touch a little bit. And so as we were thinking, like, who would we want at the family vacation last year? Christopher Sean was one of the names we talked about. And I was like, he's so good with people. Once you meet him, you want to spend more time with him. Like, he's very engaging.
Yeah, and your banter with him was amazing too, because he kept teasing you.
Oh, he was my foil for I was like, we're in like a wrestling match and I'm the face and he's the heel. He's so good at that stuff, and he knows how to play. Like, it's just very easy. He has easy banter. And then Anna's very serious and like very precise. And then Taylor is just a goofball. So between the 3 of them, the energies were so different. It was such an interesting, and they're not on the same show. So like balancing the conversation was more so around like genre and skill, as opposed to like what happened in Rebels or whatever. Yeah. But it was really fun talking to the 3 of them, because they're all 3 of them are big characters.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I have more to say about that. I'll just kind of leave it with, the 3 of them should do panels together more often, because I could tell that they had really good energy, to your point. But the one moment there were many moments, but the one that I'll mention is when Anna started doing all of the voices. I was watching the other 2 guys watch her, because they're not voice actors, do it. And I could only see Taylor's face, because of the way that I was sitting. But the look of awe out of presumably both of them, but certainly Taylor, was palpable, and I felt like they both felt like they had just gone to school.
Yeah,
and were trying to figure it out how she did that. And that to me, I think, was the moment where it kind of became real for them too, if that makes sense. But also a little bit just like, I don't know what I just saw, but I need to figure out how to do that. So
yeah, Anna is a pro and could definitely teach a class. So yeah, it was. I caught that too. I watched the 2 of them like sort of watching her in that same sort of awe. It was amazing. Just being on stage. Yeah.
Boonta.
Yeah. We have that clip. We have it. We finally isolated. Where is it? Here we go. This one. All about bringing people together. Both
at Boonta
fans.
Eve. Boonta
Exactly.
Eve.
It's so ridiculous. All right, we do need to start our episode. So what I'm going to do is turn it over to Skip for my favorite part of the show. Like every week.
Great.
Yeah.
See how bad I can hatchet it, because I did a little hatchet job last week.
You missed a word or two. That happens. So we're in season 2, episode 16, Cat and Mouse. And here is the description. Oh my God, it's white on white. This is terrible. This is hard to read, Skip.
Okay. Obi-Wan and Anakin must combine their tactical expertise and brashness when they meet their toughest challenge yet, the cunning separatist Admiral Trench.
And our moral is a wise leader knows when to follow. All right, Colin, you're in the military. Like, does that track?
Yeah.
Okay.
not even a little bit. That is like what they say is a good leader. Good leaders know how to be followers first. And I'll be honest, I only kind of agree with that, but I do understand it. Actually, I mean, I watched, unlike you guys, I prepared. And so I watched this show on the weekend, and I didn't pay attention to the opening fortune cookie, but that was actually one of my takeaways. Like, this episode is really about leadership and followership and initiative and seizing the moment versus keeping the bigger picture in mind, and teamwork. And actually, that's probably why I like it, because it feels so authentic to what I kind of do every single day. I have thoughts about this episode. We should probably watch it, and I'll talk about it while we watch it.
All right, with that in mind, everyone cue up your Disney Plus machines. We are in Season 2, Episode 16. Colin, by special request from Colin, Cat and Mouse. It is his favorite. So I'm going to set that countdown, and here we go.
Cracks me up because I prepared.
Yeah, I know.
Mark and I are
way to drag us, Colin.
Yes, he rolled the bus over us and then stuck it in reverse and rolled us back over it.
In fairness, there is something to be said for going in cold.
Yeah,
and
after the quantity of preparation we did for Rebels, I literally said never again.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Ashley and I, especially during the first, say, 20 episodes, when we were really trying to find our own, like, what would Rebels Revisited be like? You know, we don't do this for a living. This is for fun, right? How do we find the voice of the show? And I was like, let me watch the episode clean, watch it again and take notes, and then be ready for and then I'd watch the Rebels Recon from Andy. That way I had, like, all my pieces together. And that went on through, like, most of the series. So, yeah, and sometimes if there was supplemental stuff, like if we were doing a listicle, like Skip was saying, the night he joined for like the best of the Inquisitor, I was finding lists on the internet and then like watching things myself, and it was homework.
Here I'm going, oh, this will be all right. I'll watch the show and I'll comment as I'm watching it, and all of a sudden I was like, oh crap, we're not watching the show. I got to actually come up with something.
Yeah, first episode as always.
We've started, right? I don't see a timestamp. So I want to make sure I'm seeing
Son of a bitch. I never hit the timestamp. And, it's actually Ashley's job. And so, by the way, Ashley's out because she's got a family thing. Everything's okay. I know she hasn't been on for a couple weeks. No one get nervous. Ashley is still employed by Clone Wars Revisited. So she's just got a lot going on personally. She was away for the convention, and then she had a little bit of a family thing last week, and so she's taking care of some stuff tonight. Plus, we had Colin coming in, so it was like, you know what, this would be a great night for you to take another vacation day. But Ashley will be back next week. We also have a new Daughters of the Galaxy next week, so we'll see. Ashley will be back on your screens very soon.
Yeah, because she might take a night off here, but she's,
So for those of you keeping track, I'm on 1 minute 40 seconds now. What do you guys think of the spider guy design here? I don't like spiders, so he creeps me out a little bit.
You know what? I usually don't mind a spider, but once they hit a certain size, they really like, especially when they're done like in Star Wars. In Star Wars, all spiders are scary as fuck. Like because they make them gigantic and like too anthropomorph sized, and they're always like trying to eat you. Like I don't like it. In real life, though, spiders actually don't bother me. I'm more afraid of bees. Bees are like, and I understand that they are critical to like the climate and the survival of the planet. I still want them to just go away, though. Like, I would love for you to exist in huge numbers far away from me.
Well, and
that's funny.
Colin says Spider Guy, and I'm like, am I watching the wrong episode? And I didn't realize that he was a spider. I was thinking walrus, because hairy toothed walrus.
That is imagine a tarantula of that size, really.
Yeah.
No. I'm noping out of that situation pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's so many different types of horrifying spiders in Rebels with those giant spiders on Chopper Base. And then you get, I guess, the same species of spider sort of in that creepy as fuck Mandalorian episode.
It's the same one. Those are awful. Like Trench, I can deal with because he's a little bit anthropomorphized. They kind of... He's still evil, but they queued him up a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to talk to me, though? A talking spider? No, this is worse.
Actually, I think the talking spider is better, in all honesty. But, because then I can at least, like, okay, well, I can at least...
We can negotiate with him.
I can negotiate a little bit.
No, I'm using my force choke from far, far away.
This is one of those episodes that really highlights the detail of the animation in both Clone Wars and Rebels. The Starfield is there in great detail. all the highlights of the lights. I mean, if you look in there, the light shining out of there and then reflecting on the walls, they really spent their time taking care of the details in the show.
It
Oh,
looks really
100%.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a huge
What,
step up from season one.
what,
There's all right. So there's some weird insect discussion in the comments. I just have to put this up on the screen. So I hear you loud and clear, Sarah. Yeah, wasp and yellowjacks. Anything that's like a step above a bee, like the scary versions of bees. No, they got to go. And then all right, Jimbo. How the hell did you get malaria? That is horrifying. Are you okay? Like I get bit by mosquitoes all the time, and if I'm even like slightly tired, I think I have malaria. Like I'm one of those. Like I go straight to like
Worst
when
case
on
scenario.
WebMD where it's like, oh, I think I have a headache, and then WebMD is like, and it'll be your last. Like that's where my brain goes to, like immediately.
So the wind has blown off a cover that covers the vent that goes into one of our bathrooms in our house, and I have been noticing that we would find these wasps in this bedroom that's off this bathroom, and I'm like, where in the hell are these wasps coming from? And I realized tonight that the cover had blown off. We have a lot of wind where we are, and the wasps were going in the vent and coming into the house. Now, how they are getting out of the house is a whole different story. That would be my wife putting honey, because wasps like honey too, not just bees, would put it on her finger and get the wasp to land on her finger, and then she would carry them through the house and out the front door and release them out there.
Oh, good for her. She's braver than me.
Yeah. I'm
If
like,
there's a wasp in my house, I'm burning down the house and moving out of the zip code. Like it is a full on affront. Meanwhile, that interaction
she
with
cleared out like 5 or 6 of them today.
good for her. I'm braver than me. That interaction with Anakin and Obi-Wan was really interesting because Obi-Wan is trying to tell Anakin to slow down and pay attention, that like
Do what
the
I
larger
say.
mission is more important than destroying some ships. And Anakin, I mean, brashness was literally written in the description of the episode, right? So we kind of know what's going to be happening. This man just likes to barrel through shit, right? Like that's kind of his strategy.
Anakin is brute force. He likes to brute force his way through things, and then Obi-Wan is not that.
No, he's got a little more finesse.
He's got finesse. Yeah, it's but I mean that's the beginning of the theme of the episode, right? Anakin, slow down and do what I tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's
Hey, still a master, Padawan dynamic there. Even though he's a Jedi Knight, he's still under Obi-Wan. Like there's still a hierarchy here.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean he also says exactly the theme of the episode, right? Keep the bigger picture in mind. Do what I tell you. The problem is Anakin doesn't respond well to do what I tell you. He wants to blow stuff up, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But this is I think the next big, one of the things that really stood out to me is this is an admiral who recognizes what's going on with the situation. He says, I'm coming with you. I'm volunteering myself as a consultant. Admiral don't have to do that. Admiral can stay with his ship, right? In fact, he has responsibilities there. He effectively becomes the follower, this man of incredible leadership ability. So he recognizes that moment when I need to just follow here because I feel like, because if I follow, I can be a better, I can make a bigger impact than if I'm in charge of my fleet right now. Mm-hmm. And I think that, again, the theme of this episode is leadership versus followership, teamwork, and seizing the initiative versus keeping the bigger picture in mind, right? And so, yeah, you could also make the argument here that Yularen recognizes the bigger picture because anybody can run his fleet. They're behind a moon right now. They're not under attack. If I really want to make an impact, this is where I'm going to make that impact. Mm-hmm. So it's a really interesting moment for a guy like him to be able to say that.
Yeah, Yularen's such an interesting, complicated character. And I remember being really heartbroken when I sort of realized as we were following in the timeline and chronology that he really was like, oh yeah, I'm in on the fascism. There's no retconning his sitting at the table in the conference room in A New Hope to him being like an internal spy or trying to sabotage them from the inside, because they could have obviously taken that path in the Andor show and been like, Yularen is secretly working for us. He is trying to sabotage them from within. He could have become this martyred hero. And instead they were like, oh no, he seems to thrive under fascism. because here he's very heroic, and we don't get any glimpses of him being evil in any sense, or even cruel, or I mean, even like the slightest bit mean. Like it's kind of jarring, actually. And then when we get to Rebels, he like fully views the Rebels as terrorists, and that the need for order and control in the galaxy sits rightfully with the Empire, regardless of their atrocities.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of the whole point?
I think so. Yeah, I'm just sad that it happened. Like it sucks, but you're right. Like that's this is how it happens. You just slip right into it.
It's like watching the Titanic. You know the ship's gonna sink in the end.
Yeah.
Yularen
yeah.
is kind of like the more extreme version of like an Erwin Rommel, right, or an Admiral Dönitz, right?
Mhm.
They continued to serve the regime because they were loyal soldiers of the military, right? But you know, Dönitz is probably the better example because he was there till the bitter end. He actually took over the Reich after Hitler killed himself, right? But I mean, yeah, it's an otherwise heroic, interesting guy. Yeah, Jim's making a good point there.
Yeah,
just falls for it, or just continues. Maybe, and sometimes I'm sure it's path of least resistance, but I'm sure the whole point of Yularen is, yeah, this is a heroic, really smart, intelligent, capable leader, and he drank the Kool-Aid.
and he rose through the ranks, and once he got power, is the power then more valuable to him than justice, right? And as Sherry says, good soldiers follow orders. Another running theme from which one of my favorite characters, Crosshair, is the one who I think is most associated with that line now, right? Like it is like I hear it in his voice when I see it written. Like I literally hear Crosshair saying it.
So here they are. They set up the submarine movie, and they give themselves their own limitations, which is nice. I'm glad that they gave themselves limitations. Anti-aircraft weapons. They should have just said anti-spacecraft, but that's equivalent. So this is actually, I didn't realize this on my rewatch over the weekend when I prepared. But Yularen is actually pushing Skywalker to do something. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I am surprised by that.
They're going to hit us. Also, so back up for just a second, right? For those watching along, I'm on time index 1120, but so somebody got sick, and so they called in a new guy. Where'd the new guy come from? Was he on the ship and came with them, or like was he another dude that was just kind of there? Where'd the new guy come from? In theory, something like this is something that's highly trained, and you don't pick up a random gunner to throw them into the sea.
Yeah, I would think, especially on these types of missions, you know, they feel highly confidential.
Well, and it's highly specialized training, right? I mean, they're talking about operating a cloak. By the way, I hate the ship design. I think it's stupid. But I am glad that they made it larger than the Millennium Falcon, because then they can keep that line of dialogue from Empire intact.
What's the line of dialogue?
No ship that small is a cloaking device.
Oh, gotcha. Right, because they're cloaked right now. That's how they're staying off of. Yeah, they don't know they're there. I know, Sarah. I know. I'll forever be wrong. We should have done chronological order.
Speaking of chronological order, I think this is like chronologically the first episode, because it's Battle of
It's
Kostov.
early on, right?
Yeah, it's before Ahsoka, which is in the movie. I'd have to look at it again. If it's not the first episode chronologically, it's the second.
I have to double check. I know we have a list somewhere, and I remember looking at the list and thinking it was way harder than it needed to be. And then someone showed it to me again. And I was like, oh, that's not that bad. I must have been overreacting in the moment. But then I was like, you know what? Production order. We'll fly through. Yeah. So, vindicated, Sarah. Vindicated.
Vindicated. You learn pretty quick that when you're under General Skywalker, you're always on the offensive. Yeah, okay. So I actually didn't pick up that Yularen was the one pushing him to go on the offensive. Although that's pretty easy. That's like convincing an alcoholic that doesn't realize they're an alcoholic to have another drink.
Yeah,
So,
one more won't hurt you.
Yeah.
You're already unconscious.
yeah.
Anakin is a series of red flags, as we've talked about throughout the series. He's often also right, and that's what's like the most horrifying about it. Like we just rewatched the Mandalore arc or the Satine arc, I should say, from season 2. So not really on Mandalore, but there's that scene when they're on the ship and the guy has the bomb. And Anakin stabs him from behind and kills him, and it's like this really horrifying moment. I was like, no, that was right. Like he made the correct move there, and we all agree. But it's also a red flag because everyone else was trying to find a way out of it without stabbing this man in the chest. When you should just stab him in the chest.
Yeah, but
Cat Mouse
also,
listed as first.
also
Okay.
that allows. Okay, cool. I was right. Yeah, that also allows Obi-Wan to keep his "I didn't kill the person and that's just Satine hates me," right?
Yes,
So
it was a great solution to all of the problems because Satine won't do it because then she's a hypocrite. Obi-Wan won't do it because he doesn't want to kill someone in front of her. And Anakin's like, I don't give a fuck about a fuck. Like, I'll stab him right in the face. So,
he was out the whole ship.
yeah. Yeah, Jeff, it was very stabby. I loved everything about it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was going to blow up the ship. Like, we have to be realistic about the decisions that are being made. It was the right decision.
It was the right call. I like the countermeasures. I like the turn here that he does. I mean, one of the things is they're trying to show how great of a pilot Anakin is, right? But the problem is, so they made a turn and then they're turning away and they're heading toward the planet and now they're pointing back to the ship. I don't know. The geometry doesn't really work out. Sorry, it's a quibble, but
That's all good. I mean, we have a lot of quibbles throughout.
But there are some logic issues, yeah.
Yeah.
And bro, pull up. Like, just get out of the field of fire. He doesn't know where he's firing.
Well, we all just decide where up and down are. Like, it's not really, it's space.
Go like this. That's all you got to do, man. No clone could successfully fly through that many lasers. Okay. Yeah, okay. I do like the characterization of Trench, though. He's like, he's the calculating guy, right? He's paying attention. So they actually do a really good job of writing him. I'm not sure. I mean, he's the antagonist. I'm not sure if he fits into the leadership versus followership team because he's leading a bunch of droids that are just going to do what he says anyway.
I like that this episode addresses some of the sort of pure military stuff that comes up that, like, I would not know most of this or any of that structure that you're talking about. Like, I understand that there's probably a basic chain of command, but I'm certainly not well versed in the various communication styles and strategies and plans and all of these things. And I think it's one of the things that the Clone Wars makes really interesting, and you get to follow it over multiple episodes and seasons and multiple arcs. And you can actually like see how this would actually recruit people into wanting to be a pilot, wanting to enlist in the military, potentially wanting to get into military intelligence, like, or just otherwise becoming a hobbyist in this space. Like, I can't tell you the number of like aviation nerds overlapping with Star Wars nerds. Like,
the Venn diagram of aviation nerds and Star Wars nerds is pretty much on top of each other.
Yeah, it's almost a perfect circle, I would assume.
It's almost a perfect circle.
I do love a Venn diagram.
Yeah,
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, Skip.
I was a Han Solo fan, and then I became a pilot.
Yep.
There are more pilots on the show than non-pilots. This is ridiculous. I mean, yeah. I've been on a plane. I've been on too many planes lately, actually.
Yeah, actually, so have I. But, man.
Yeah, what's going on with these clone helmets with the Leia hair? I'm gonna take.
I love these.
That is so funny. I had not seen it that way with the Leia.
Sherry, I want you to find the Wikipedia article that explains it. Sherry, by the way, always, if we're trying to Google something, she already has the answer as we're saying the question out loud. Like, she's keeping us on task and answering the questions because she'll see us, like, you can see the wheel turning and Sherry grabs the wheel. and gets us
Nice.
back, because it's like, oh, we had a thought, and it's like, no, you didn't. Like, come back to reality.
Also, I got to throw this out there. This is a very like Star Trek moment because they're using science and brain stuff to solve the problem. That's not really Star Wars, but I will give it to them here.
Mhm.
Although I do like, so for those of us that like cross pollination on our fandoms, they actually do use a music cue from the Wrath of Khan about right
Oh.
here,
Oh,
which is,
interesting.
I think, really funny.
The overlap on Star Wars, Star Trek from a production and like shared actors and whatever else is actually like quite small. I remember reading a listicle and it was like maybe 15 people who have done an appearance in a Star Trek and Star Wars, like have also like and in a meaningful way, because there's plenty of people
Yeah.
who are in like one episode as a guest star and have like a cameo in something else. But like
Spiner.
Jason, what's that?
Jason
Brent
Isaacs,
Spiner.
yeah.
Jason Spiner and Brent Isaacs both come to mind, and they're actually both in Rebels, interestingly enough. But yeah, the overall, and George Takei has done a couple of guests. I think he's in like 2 episodes of Clone Wars. Like, it's very small, but like the overlap is not super significant. But I think even from a fandom perspective, there's something
Katie
of a
Sackhoff
rivalry
is
between
looking
our
to get
fandoms.
Katie
I mean, I
Sackhoff
love
is
both
going
of
to
them,
get a Star Trek series appearance,
Mhm.
and if she gets it, if she gets a spot in the series, then she will have nailed it.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg, that's a good one, Shinto.
Yeah, Simon Pegg, and then Diana. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a list. It's not a big list. And it's not
But it
people who are
exists.
like leads,
Yeah. Actually, I didn't think about it. So Trench actually does con where he goes, there she is, and he points. He doesn't do it as well as Ricardo Montalban. And now they're just doing the Hunt for Red October. So
Yeah, yeah.
It's very clear what the writers' room was doing. And actually, I think the music cue is from the Hunt for Red October. So they were having some fun with this episode.
Oh yeah, and there was like red lighting in there. It looked like a submarine with the red.
Yeah.
Like, it was clearly signaling that.
Oh yeah, they did good on that one.
I like that Yularen and Anakin are going to make a good team, because like that bitch is going to be like a high-ranking admiral, and Darth Vader are going to be working together. So it's like, oh.
Which brings up the question. So this is one for the chat. Chat, help me out here. Does Yularen know that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker?
It's a good question. I have a thought on that.
We know Thrawn knows, and we know Tarkin knows, and of course the Emperor knows. But I think that those are the only ones that I'm aware of.
And I think canonically there's probably not an answer to that, which would mean the default should be no. But I would venture to say that Yularen knows Anakin better than Thrawn and better than Tarkin. So Tarkin might know Vader a little bit better, but Yularen knows Anakin almost best out of that list, other than the Emperor. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring and say that Admiral Yularen knows that Darth Vader is secretly Anakin Skywalker.
Tarkin spent some time with Anakin.
Not as much as Yularen, though. I mean,
no, this is true.
Yeah, it's a significant quantity of difference. Like, the Tarkin stuff is very isolated. We only meet him, I think, in like season 3 or something, when they have to rescue another Jedi from a prison or something. And so Tarkin's there when he's sort of moving his way up the ranks. And he pops in here and there, and then they have some book stuff together. Like, they have significant overlap, but like the Yularen overlap with Anakin is gigantic.
It's that Venn diagram that's really just a circle.
Yeah,
I would say
really,
that
yeah.
Yularen suspects. I don't think he knows.
Yeah. Chantel is saying that Google says the answer is no. I think that they probably haven't confirmed any of that, but which would mean the default would be no. But if I were going to headcanon, like, who would really know that Anakin is Darth Vader? There's a list on the good guys side too. Obviously, like, Obi-Wan didn't know for a long time and then found out, which then means that, like, I'm sure he told Lars and Bonnie McKee and not Bonnie McKee. Oh my God, Bonnie McKee does not know that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker.
Padme's what do you call them?
The handmaidens. Yeah, Sabe teams up with Darth Vader because Darth Vader's a lunatic. And is in love with Padme still, and she looks just like her. That is sick. Charles Schul, you are a sick man in the best way, like, for that comic.
But that's like a very legitimate story to tell.
Oh yeah,
right? Like that is straight out of character. That straight in within character. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is like I don't know if Charles actually came up with that exact idea, but like the fact that that ran as a comic is like such a like mind explosion in the best possible way. Like I love it. That like that Anakin Skywalker, who was in love with Padme from when he was a little child, decided that now that she's dead, I'm gonna basically like form a duo with a woman who looks just like her because she also decided that evil is the better answer than like fighting against it, right?
Well,
Like
there's
this.
there's a real world parallel to that too. So if you ever seen The Crown, which is a fantastic TV show, wonderful TV show, right up there with Andor in terms of quality and pathos and all these other things and storytelling and writing. But there's and it's all based on true events. So there's a story where the Princess Margaret, the Queen's younger sister, has an affair with a married older man who was a war hero. He eventually divorces his family so that he can marry the princess. But because divorce isn't allowed in the Anglican Church, the princess can't marry him, so he goes off to Belgium to be the heir attaché and continue his military career. Well, apparently he ends up marrying a girl who looks exactly like Princess Margaret in real life. So,
yeah,
there's a real life to this one.
Yeah. I want to put up some of these comments. This is a good question because the chat got real active. So, according to Mumbo Jimbo, supposedly Thrawn and Tarkin know, which we know for a fact is canon. That's come up in books and whatever else. I'd bet that Yularen has to know, even though it's not mentioned. I feel the same way. I think that that's it. But then Sherry is saying that she doesn't think so because it's a very guarded secret. That is also true. Like, not a lot of people should know that Anakin is Darth Vader, but I think there are going to be people who spend a lot of time with him who figure it out, and they'd be stupid to say something out loud because he will force choke you to death. Like, that secret cannot get out. So if Yularen does know, he's certainly not going to tell anyone, because that would be a death sentence right there.
And which comic was it again that Liberty was asking?
Yes, so Liberty is asking what comic it's in one of the Darth Vader runs, and I will Google it. Yeah, Darth Vader.
Sabe. I didn't know you were going to get homework tonight.
Yeah, I got it. Darth Vader Sabe comic. Let's see, Darth Vader 2020. For decades, Sabe, handmaiding of Padme, schemed to assassinate Darth Vader, but then they meet up and team up. So that is, I think, from 2020, from the Darth Vader comic. One of the search results says number 34, Darth Vader number 34, concludes the long storyline with Vader and handmaiden Sabe. So I guess leading up to that. I am not a comic expert, but you know who is? Bryce, Mike, and John Chiato. They do a show, Jedi Archives. They have all the details on this. So shoot them a message. They probably have a review on those episodes. Let's see. All right, Chantel, you have some interesting intelligence for us. So they say that after the Republic fell, Yularen served in the ISB, which we knew, and Vader was in primarily military roles, so different departments. That's a good point. They wouldn't have had as much interaction after Anakin. After Anakin supposedly disappears and dies, and then Vader appears, like, unless you're... And Vader is significantly taller than Anakin because of the boots and whatever else, right? So he's not exactly the same height, and he has powers, but, you know... people wouldn't necessarily put two and two together that like one appeared and one disappeared at the same time. It doesn't feel like a clean swap, right? And then let's see.
That's a great point. The counterpoint, they're on the Death Star together, which means that they spent time together.
Yes. And I'm going to go with, was it? Longer Shin Bones. Yes, Liberty. I'm going to go with Mumbo Jimbo. I feel like this is where I'm going to place my bet. That he probably knows.
I'm going with he suspects he doesn't know, and know is like I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I'm going to go with he doesn't know, but it's one of those things where when he's having dinner and drinking wine with his dinner, he might go, "There's something weird about this Vader guy that reminds me of Anakin."
Yeah. So Dave, I watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show and. I can't remember anything from it. I gotta be honest. I don't know if Reva knows that Anakin and Darth Vader are the same. Oh wait, no, because Anakin stabs her. Yeah, you're right. Anakin.
That's her entire modus operandi in the entire thing is to kill Anakin Skywalker. And
Yes.
so that's why she becomes an Inquisitor to lure Darth Vader, and she wants to lure Darth Vader with the bait of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And she becomes the Grand Inquisitor for about a minute and a half, which is very exciting.
Which
I
is
remember
very
when they updated the Wookiee for that. That was cracking me up. And then a bunch of the Inquisitors probably know as well. Maybe Barriss Offee probably figured it out. Although I still would say that Darth Vader would have killed Barriss Offee because he still would hold that grudge of her setting up Ahsoka, which set him on this path to begin with, right? Like,
right.
So I don't know.
Oh, and let's not forget, we do spoilers on this show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't forget, Tarkin prosecutes Ahsoka,
Mhm.
right? Which means that Vader's got to have beef with Tarkin. I think that's established.
Oh,
So,
yeah, they don't like each other.
They don't like each other.
Because they're, Tarkin is technically higher on the org chart and is always trying to remind Vader of that, and I don't think Vader responds well to that.
I know, in the original Star Wars, if you watch it in a vacuum, Vader is like this weird middle manager that has to report to this strangely British guy.
Yeah.
So, and likes to throw it in his face and say, "I know who you are. You're no more powerful than I am. I don't care."
Yeah.
Don't anybody touch the
Oh yeah, no one touched the spam. I will.
Balin. Spencer's right. Balin knew.
Oh yeah, Balin did know. But that's after, right? So things can come out when the new regime takes over and they declassify all of that stuff.
I don't get the impression that he learned that as I think he.
I mean, that's actually a really good point. Yeah.
I think he might have figured it out, but we'll.
Well, we know we got Ahsoka season 2 coming. Maybe they'll answer questions like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll find out.
Coming back to the episode real quick, so that we're not wasting too much time. I'd be curious to know the thoughts of the group. I'll tell you mine. Faced with the decision of continuing your mission or seizing the initiative to explode Admiral Trench's ship, which we know both are successful, like which one would you choose? I know that I would probably have elected to continue the Mercy mission because that's what my assignment was, and the risk of me getting blown up and then them dying is much higher than me just delivering the supplies and then being able to seize the offensive. So that's what I would do. But then again, I'm not Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I feel like with his superpowers, he goes for the bigger win, and the bigger win is solving the root cause of the issue, right? So, yeah, I feel like he would be like, no, we have to shut this whole thing down. Like, I don't want to just survive this drop. I want to put an end to the issue that is here.
But that's why the episode is effective, in my opinion, because both choices turn out to be correct, right?
Yeah.
They're both right, and Anakin and Obi-Wan are both correct. There is no bad decision, as it turns out, which is why I think you can have this question of which one would you do, and I think that I can say I would continue the Mercy mission because that's a correct answer. It turns out Anakin was maybe more correct,
and that's where
it's the genius of the show, really.
Yeah, Clone Wars lets you think about the action. And I was going to say, Dave, I was looking for the hide function, and I could not find it. Thank you for clearing the spam. That's how you know we've made it, guys, when spam hits the channel. But yeah, what I like about the Clone Wars is I don't think they give really simple solutions to most things. I mean, the point of the Clone Wars is that the entire time we're rooting for Darth Vader, right? Like, that's the cognitive dissonance of this entire series. Like, Darth Vader is our hero, and we follow him, and we fall in love with Anakin Skywalker, more so than I think we even did in the prequels, and we are rooting for him at every single turn. And in any given moment, if Anakin Skywalker dies in one of these episodes, everything will be better. Everything. So, like, it is very just from the moment that the credits play, the cognitive dissonance kicks in, and you're forced to reckon with the fact that this is a war of two sides who are pitted against each other by a third party manipulating the whole situation, and everyone loses. It is a game rigged to lose, with a protagonist we shouldn't be rooting for in a world that is like on the brink of collapse, and no matter what anyone's decision is, it's not just a prisoner's dilemma. It is like there is no, like, it's a loaded dice and everyone is like rigged to lose. So like that going in feels super bleak and terrible, and yet it's like a highly entertaining show and asks like really interesting questions and gets people like us coming on a Monday night to like chat with a bunch of our friends about like what we liked about it. So it works on so many levels, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it is such a strange environment to be in when you're when you're loving watching Anakin become the legend that he was before he became Darth Vader.
Mhm.
You know, and experiencing his creation as a legend, and then unfortunately knowing that he's going to become one of the most evil creatures ever known.
Yeah.
We get to watch
He
that
does,
happen through honorable characters like Ahsoka and Rex.
he does do a lot of damage as Darth Vader, probably just as much or more than he did good as Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah,
And
what
this
is
brings
that?
up
It's from the comic. It's going around. I'm not really well versed in the comics, but it's the "You killed my father." Well, you'll have to be more specific. I've killed many fathers.
Yeah, it's that line from Street Fighter that's become something of a meme where it's like,
Yeah.
for you, you met, the great M. Bison came in and destroyed your village or whatever, and for me, it was just Tuesday.
It was
Like,
too-
that's very Vader, right? He's like, you're gonna have to be way more specific about who I killed in your life, right? Like, everyone's got a grudge with me. And yeah, I think it really adds to the fact that that's kind of why we love him as a villain, is like we loved him as a hero, and so the fall is that much more impactful. And we see
Painful.
like what he became. Yeah,
Yeah,
um,
but he also gets the redemption, right? And I mean, you
he
can debate
does.
whether or not the redemption is good or bad. The point of the story is that he finds his way back at the end, right?
Yeah,
That's the point. Is he sees it?
exactly. We
Yeah,
could debate whether he earned it or not. I think he didn't. But like the story is telling you that you finding your way back might be enough, which is actually like relatively like a very Catholic message. Like confession absolves you of your sins
that's
typically.
Catholic. Yeah,
Um,
I get it. Yeah,
yeah, I grew up Catholic, so I've heard that. I don't really practice anymore, but like the idea of like you being asked for forgiveness and given it by a divine power is really interesting, no matter how badly you messed up, right? You have to just really believe that you have to really be sorry is really what it boils down to. You have to actually want redemption. And it seems like his character really wanted it and did the action that was necessary.
You have
Um,
to repent.
yeah, you
yeah,
have to
you
repent. And
Turn
I
again. Turn away from your sin and repent.
Yeah, but I
yeah.
like the physical act of repenting that we see in Star Wars, where if a character dies immediately, they don't really have a chance. Like Vader and Maul and a bunch of other people who had regrets didn't really have a chance to repent. Whereas someone like Callus left the Empire and then went and did the work and became a rebel. And like he would be owed, like no matter how many bad things he did when he was like Agent Callus, now that he is Alexander Callus, he has a real chance of I would say what's the thing from Marvel where Black Widow is talking about like blacking out the ledger, right? She wants to get the red ink out of there.
Removing the red from the
Yeah.
ledger.
So like that idea of doing enough good works to undo the bad things you've done, and I don't know if you could just mathematically say it adds up, but like that's a realistic approach to how you would go about trying to undo the bad things you did.
So can Chopper ever undo all the bad things he's done?
Well, everything he did was perfect. He's a beautiful little boy. Um, I want to put up this too. Liberty, you're right. How many people know that Anakin is Darth Vader? Holy shit. Because Maul knew also. Girl, we got to make a list. There's got to be a listicle out there. We're going to save it for the next one. So, because.
Yeah, but it's also got to be like time period specific, right? So it's
Yeah.
like in this year, this many people knew, and this year, this many people knew, and then
Hot
in
Callus.
six ABY, everybody knew, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There comes a point. And yeah, I want to put up Dave's point. So we have a whole show on this. The stuff that we're doing right now is done better on Unifying Force. When you listen to Dave and Kat and Geo from top to bottom without watching an episode, choose a topic and get real deep. And let me tell you, Geo and Kat have thoughts on all of these things. And I know they've actually covered redemption as a theme within Star Wars. But yeah, they get into philosophy, religion, military strategy. Like it's some deep discussion. So if you guys are not already doing so, make sure you check out Unifying Force. Dave co-hosts that with Kat and Geo, and it is awesome.
Very funny, Jeff. Only half of them all knew.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Excellent stuff. We do love a hot Callus too. Is that why we gave him the redemption so easily? He's cute now. He's got good sideburns. Also, I want to put up. By the way, welcome to the chat, Jimbo. We got to have you every week. You've been a delight. I love the stuff you're putting up here. I'm going to read this out for everyone. So the Clone Wars series did a lot more than the prequel trilogy to show me how much his fall to the dark side was. Tragically, the Clone Wars saved the prequel trilogy for me. I think a lot of people feel that way about how the Clone Wars really expands the lore of the prequel trilogy and creates that world. I say it all the time that like we had people in costumes for a lot of characters in the Clone Wars, like especially the background Jedi, and then you get real stories with them in the Clone Wars. Barriss Offee is probably the best example of that. Like, I love Nalini Krishan. She's amazing. She doesn't really have any dialogue or anything to do in the movies as Barriss Offee, but holy hell, Meredith Salinger, who takes over the role in Clone Wars, there's a whole arc, and she's like critical to Ahsoka's fall and Anakin's fall by proxy. Like, it just gets so much more in depth to the stories. The Clone Wars adds so much.
Adding layers to the onion.
Yeah.
So many layers to the onion with Clone Wars.
And as Jeff said, fills in some of the plot holes and whatever else too. Like, it does a lot of heavy lifting, I think, for that whole time period. Oh, that's nice, Sherry. I agree that, like, if I were picking, and this could be a whole fight on the unifying force as well, Matt Lanter is my Anakin.
Say it, Mark. Don't say it.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
Matt Lanter's my Anakin. Sorry, guys. Matt greater than Hayden. I spent personal time with Hayden. Like, I brought him to Rhode Island Comic Con 2019. I spent a weekend with that man. He is lovely. Matt Lanter is a better Anakin.
Well, Hayden studied Matt's. He went back and watched Clone Wars before he did, I think, Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He said that for his Ahsoka appearance, he watched all of Clone Wars, and then he was trying to channel Matt Lanter's.
I love that. Yeah.
Performance. And actually, so I like splitting hairs when it comes to these things, because I believe that you can have an opinion that covers everything. I will say Matt Lanter is a better Anakin until Hayden Christensen comes back in Ahsoka. And I think Hayden gives the ultimate Anakin performance in Ahsoka season 5, episode 5.
Interesting. I liked that performance, but it's fast.
It's fast, but that performance doesn't exist without Matt Lanter.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
And by the way, I'm not hating on Hayden. I love Hayden. I prefer Matt as Anakin. And I think Liberty is summing it up, right? Kind of what you're saying, Colin, the mashup of Hayden and Matt creating Anakin. Yeah.
Oh, the whole next to last episode of Clone Wars, where Hayden is coming to bail out Obi-Wan, and the 501st are hiding underneath the bridge. That is
Matt.
Matt. Yeah.
Not as Anakin.
Anakin. Anakin's saving Obi-Wan, and the 501st is hiding underneath the bridge. That's such a classic. I mean, that's where the legend begins.
Yeah,
I think
turns out. Yeah, I think the nice thing is we have both these options. We have excellent Obi-Wans with James Earl Taylor and Ewan McGregor. We have excellent Padmes with Natalie Portman and Kat Tabor. Like, the voice actors do a lot of excellent building on these performances. And so you can like all of them. We've got Ray Park and we have Sam Witwer. I feel like there's people who, Katie Sackhoff. And now with the Ahsoka show, we've got Taylor and Amon, who it's one of my goals, Colin. We're going to put it into the universe. We're going to get Taylor and Amon together. It's going to happen. We're going to do it. And we're going to cosplay as them together. And they're going to be like, what's wrong with you two? It's going to be great.
Oh, I'm not. If I show up to that, I'm showing up in street clothes, man. I'm not being weird about it.
Oh, no, I'll be super weird. I'll be there with like extra loth cats for everyone. So I do need to break out. So with Rhode Island Comic Con coming in November, I will be doing my actual Ezra cosplay, as well as whatever other stuff I end up bringing. I've got to get some additions and revisions made to the existing costume, so we'll be in touch. But yeah, we'll get you out there too. Rhode Island's going to be amazing. And yeah, Liberty, I'm willing this into the universe. They've seen each other. They've met before. They've been in events together, but I would like to make something like that happen.
Well, Star Wars has effectively merged their live action and animated characters together to make a more full and vibrant character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they balance well off each other, which is great.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great way to end the episode too. It's always all about balance here on Star Wars. We have a couple of announcements though, and I'm just going to fly through the ones that we already covered. So I know I mentioned at the top of the show that some new things have gone live on the channel. My interview with Simon Cassianitis is out now. And as I mentioned, so this just went live on the Facebook page earlier today. It's pretty quick. It's all the interviews that we're doing at Rebel Scum Con and Boon to Eve. You'll see more of the actors being added 2 a week for the next several weeks. Also at a Rebel Scum Con, don't forget to check out the video of Matthew Wood and David W. Collins singing Youngie Wim. That was such a moment. So that is all. I mean, how could you have missed it on the internet? But it was there and it's still there. And then, of course, we just announced the Diana Lee Inosanto appearance with VIP Home Theaters. It's happening Wednesday, October 15th in Chicago from 6 to 9. Very limited number of tickets available, $100 a ticket. And we're going to have a live podcast from Mocktails from the Cantina, hosted by Chris Mock. And there's going to be, your ticket includes an autograph, a selfie, swag, light refreshments, the live recording of the podcast, and, of course, a discussion with Diana. So very excited about all of that. And then what else do we have? We're on the road to 100,000. We are at 99.5, I believe. So my Grogu statue will be finding a new home soon enough. And then one last thing, Galactic Pickers. There's a Knight Tier Sabers hero styling for less credits. There's a special code for them. So use code VCN for 10% off your purchase. I know, Skip, you had done that awesome lightsaber review. I want to say more of that stuff is coming. So yeah, thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to VIP Home Theaters. We love these guys. I'm so excited to go to their showroom and just like check out their stuff when we're there in Chicago and just like visit and hang out and like watch some TV. I know it's like, I want to go watch some TV, but I really am so excited to, meet them in person too, because they're lovely. And they make excellent products, speakers, TVs, all sorts of stuff. And we're going to be hosting Diana. Yeah. I see you. Yeah. The point. Yeah. I got this way. Everything's reversed. And then this week on the network, we have happy hour tomorrow. I'm going to try to pop into happy hour for a little bit. Every time I've been on for the past few weeks, we've had to break into staff meetings. We do not have a staff meeting tomorrow night, so everyone will be available to hang out. I will not be stealing them for things. But we are going to be announcing some things related to staffing on the network. Thank you to everyone who has volunteered to take on bigger roles in the network. It is very exciting right now. More is coming. These are not the right. I got to swap you guys real quick. There we go. I had names the whole time. We had this set up and we weren't using it. I'm so mad. So if you didn't know who Skip and Colin were, now you do. So perfect timing as always. Thank you to everyone who's stepping up and doing more for the network. We have a lot of exciting programming, new shows, new events, more things coming, people who are going to be announced this week who are stepping into some new roles on the network, which is very exciting. All of that's coming. But tune in Wednesday for a new Nerf Herders. And then I'll be on the watch along this Thursday because we're doing Pinky and the Brain and a couple other things. Pinky and the Brain Star Wars is wild. And of course, Pinky and the Brain is just a weird, wild show. So I'm very excited to be covering that. And then we've got Jedi Archives on Friday.
Colin has become now an internet celebrity.
I see that. And yes, thank you for joining, Colin. We appreciate it. We're going to bring you on more frequently so it's not this long of a gap before the next one.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at the episode list. I got to pick whatever or the next episode. And hopefully it's not like season 5, so I don't see you guys for 2 years.
No, you just have to. Here's the thing. Every couple months, just pop in. And I know JB and Sarah are going to be popping in a little more frequently as well. We're going to give Skip a night off one of these Mondays. And in fact, actually, I fully forgot. Next week is Labor Day. So I think we are going to do a rerun next week. We've actually not decided that yet because I forgot that it was Labor Day on Monday. But we are doing Pinky and the Brain this week. And then I don't know if anyone's around on Labor Day, but we will likely just do a rerun. So we will keep you guys posted. We may do the season 1 recap because we haven't re-aired that one. And then we can just regroup in 2 weeks on the next episode of Clone Wars, season 2, episode 17, which if I had it in front of me, I would know what was coming up next, but I don't know. It's something, some kind of Clone War. We went into the Bounty Hunters. So season 2, episode 17, Bounty Hunters. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka work with 4 deadly bounty hunters. This is the start of a really fun arc, and this is where I think we meet Hondo for the first time.
No, I thought we already met Hondo, but anyway, I could be wrong. No, this is the Seven Samurai Magnificent Seven episode.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. And then, yes, Colin, yeah, we'll get you a shirt for Colin. Yes, thank you, Jimbo, for the lovely comment. Yeah, we had a great time having everyone. I know we're way over. This hour and a half flew by, you guys. But this was crazy.
By the way, Spencer's got a fan club shirt now.
Oh, boy. Yeah. And everyone check out Spencer's episode of Mocktails on the Cantina. Mocktails from the Cantina. The Skywalkers were there too, so they were doing some playing some games with Steve. So everyone, make sure you tune into that as well. We'll make sure we have the links on the Facebook page. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week. Colin, anything that you need to promote or want to talk about before you get going?
No, it's always a pleasure to be here. You can see my Instagram handle right there if you want to give me a follow. I bet you most of you already have. Just thanks for having me on, guys. I know we always have a long but a good time on these.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for joining. And
Good night.
I will see you. You'll be watching the watch along Thursday, but if you want to join too, yeah, join us for Pinky and the Brain on Thursday. That's going to be a blast. I'll see you guys then. As always, may the force be with you, and long live the Republic.
Ba-dum-bum.
Hello there. Hi, I'm Mark Connell. I'm the Director of Programming at the Virtual Cantina Network, and I'm here with James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, I know that one well. I have the high ground if I... Wait, yes. Thank you. Now I have the high ground. And you are watching Clone Wars Revisited. This is the show you're looking for.